Welcome to another episode of Hot Rod City. This is my season 2019 season premiere, spring update, if you will. I'm actually back on the garage. Thankfully, I don't have nearly as much to do as I had to do on it last year. The main construction of it is pretty much done. I got to put some walls in it, interior walls that just go up the inside. But so I'm just going to pretty much give you guys updates from now on it, because I'm not doing the concrete. I'm not doing the backfill. Somebody else is doing that. I probably, once the concrete prep is done, I'm going to put down my PEX tubing. And then so that way I can heat the concrete. So, but anyways, I worked on the door, hung that door yesterday, that entry door. And I trimmed out the door and the 3 windows that are there. It's the first work I've done on this thing in months, just because of the fact I'm old and fat and I'm too spoiled to be outside in the cold. So, after the V8 Subaru, we got a couple projects. I shouldn't say couple. I should say quite a few projects here on premises to do. I'd actually, since it's a big monumentous occasion for me, not in YouTube standards, but for me it is, I've crested 50 subscribers. At this moment, I have 51. So, I guess, it's working. I've only restarted really taking this channel kind of seriously last year. But since I'm going to encourage feedback from you guys and let you pick the next project after the V8 Subaru is good to go. So the next big project, I guess you could say. I have here I'll show them to you. I have here a 1996 Ford Escort. It has a 1.9 motor in it. Now the plan here is, what I want to do is, I have a MS2 Mega Squirt that I've started to assemble. I kind of put it off on the back burner, but I'm pretty well prepped, ready to go. Got everything to go, got a wiring harness, the whole 9. And I put that on here, and I also want to turbo this car and just make a cool little driver out of it. This car was actually gifted to me. It was a present from a buddy of mine, David. He, I guess he didn't want it. So, but that's choice. It's over here sitting next to the Baja, which is needs a brake line fix before we take it to the Off-Road Expo this year. And next is over there. We got another pretty big project sitting right there behind that willow tree. It's a brat. But that's probably next year. We have... We got the crap Camaro sitting over here. So I've been actually collecting parts for that. I even took some and got them sealed and primed, because I didn't want them rusting anymore. There's a craptastic Mustang. That is actually a donor for another project. We're going to use the drivetrain and stuff for that. Here is another one. This is a 66 Chevrolet C60. This is supposed to be the Hot Rod City shop truck, as it were. I'm tired of tearing up my personal Ram. I love my Ram. So I picked up this hoopty for, I call it a hoopty, but it is, I paid $800 for this truck. It has a built 350 in it, like fresh built 350. But I've already got. It's at my buddy Keith Rose farm. I got to go get it. Sitting in his barn, because we're going to have room here shortly to put it. Is a frame cut out of I think it was technically a Freightliner. Anyways, I got a 24 valve Cummins motor with an Allison transmission to go into this. and I got extra parts. I got a door, I got 2 doors, but I'm actually just using the glass and some panels off of them. I got an extra roof skin to go on it. Reason being, this thing has the old school cab lights. We're gonna run new ones. And some butthead cut a hole for a sunroof, and it's just one of those cheeky pop-up ones that leak real bad. And I got new axles for this thing to get rid of the drum brakes, so to have disc brakes all the way around. So those are my well, I have 2 more options as well. One of them I can start on before the one I can start before the Off-Road Expo. But the problem is I need kind of what's for the Off-Road Expo. Subaru over there was actually always intended to be a donor for something else. So the idea for that is to take I got a free one over there, free Subaru Legacy. I don't have a title for it, so I can't really do much with it. So, screw it, I'll take you out and show you. Alright, there you can see it, sitting on the trailer. It's 95, 96 Subaru Legacy L. L was basically the nomenclature for like bottom of the line. It's not an Outback. Outbacks come lifted, have bigger, longer struts and spacers on the subframes. So yeah, the L model is a like baseline. Like when you move up to the Outbacks, they have a spacer between the subframes and they have longer struts. So, which is like the Legacy, the Outback Legacy back there, the one we went off-roading it has. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that L and strip it down. Save the suspension and the axles, and we'll stick the motor aside to use it for mock-up. But the trans is an automatic, we don't need it, so it can go. We're going to take all 4 doors off, chuck it. We're going to take this thing down to the bare chassis, leave the subframes attached. I'm going to shorten the chassis to basically like coupe 2-door length appropriate. And then going to weld it all together, flip it upside down, and we're going to make a jig out of that. Jig or fitting, whatever you know, many different terminologies for it. We're going to basically make a jig of all suspension mounting points. And once that's done, we're going to take it off, and we're going to get rid of what's left of the thing, and we're going to build, what we're going to do with that jig is build a all-wheel drive, like 32 Deuce Coupe. All-wheel drive, 5-speed, 4-cylinder. Maybe later down the line would turbo it or something like that for fun. So basically, just something light and fun to play with and neat looking to drive. So that'd be one of the larger projects I have to do. Also, last choice is kind of higher on my list to do is the it's basically a Caterham or Lotus 7, whichever terminology plan, or low cost 7 is some of them. Low cost is what they're called. Basically, picture like so. They actually make it. Well, they make kits, but there's a bunch of books published, a lot of online stuff, and even plans, like legit chassis plans you can print. There's one book from a guy that was published in like European, and they use a Ford Escort as a donor, the old rear-wheel drive ones. So what I plan to do is I've already collected enough junk That's what that Mustang donor is for. We're going to use the motor and trans out of that. So there is a website that I had found for the low costs. It's based off the book. In the book, the guy, actually, the author of it, designs the whole chassis out, gives you each piece you need to cut, how you need to put it together in the whole nine, and suspension-wise and all. I'm going to adapt that, and they have on the plans that they have on the low-cost website, to where they have it where it's longer, where it's wider, if you need a little taller. Me being a big guy and I'm putting a larger engine in it, I'm going for the biggest one they make, which is like 4 inches longer, 4 inches wider, and like 2 inches taller. So, plan for that is they actually have sanctioned racings for these. I won't qualify with this one because you need a 2.0 or smaller engine. I am using a 3.8 liter V6. Why? Because that's what I have. The S10 that I jacked up, I'm going to use the spindles and make new control arms from them. I'm using the rear diff from that. I got new wheels. We're going to use most of the Mustang as a donor, booster wise. A lot of the electronics we're going to just end up using relays and, you know, just headlight controls and stuff like that. So what we got? We have Turbo Megasquirt Escort, crap Camaro, 32 Deuce Coupe Subaru, or V6 Caterham Lotus 7. I'm going to put this out and let my viewers, subscribers, choose. Leave it in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe, see what we end up making.